Thank you, Gary, and thank you all for that lovely welcome, and hello to you online. I did not know I was going to be streaming today, so that was a new bit of information for me. So thank you very much for the opportunity, guys, to share my journey and my experience with you. Before I start, Gary has said, about the support. I can only hope that from what I'm going to give you today, you can see what support I've received from Tourism NI. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is how I've gone from my home kitchen to the best food and drink experience in Northern Ireland. And yes, we are still the best food and drink experience in Northern Ireland. A year ago this month, that is my team. You can see the shock on my face because we were up against some amazing food and drink experiences. And as I said to Gary at the time, I only applied because we are so grateful for all of the help and support that we've had from Tourism NI, and I thought it would be great to take my team out to the Sleeve Donard for a night, and so we applied for that. But if you'd have told me 11 years ago that we would have that accolade, I simply wouldn't have believed you. I'm going to talk to you about the journey, how we developed our experiences. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the mistakes that I've made. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum, but I could be here all day if I talked about my experiences. The importance of collaboration, and then our experience of Tourism NI support. So a little bit about where we've come from. In 2012, I was on maternity leave with my second child. He was 4 months old and I had a 3-year-old at home. I was used to work for Northwest Regional College here in the city, so it feels very apt to be telling my story here today. And I actually took myself off on a Monday night up to Strand Road to do the Chocolate Skills course. It was a 10-week course, and the main reason that I wanted to do it was I am a chocoholic. And I had gone to promote the course. That was my job in the college, was to promote the courses. And I'd gone to speak to the lecturer about it, maybe about a year or so before, and he had said, someone could start a business if they did this 10-week course. And I said, now, Douglas, wise up. How could anyone know enough out of 10 weeks? And he said, well, if you were determined enough. So that had planted a little seed in my head. But I took myself off knowing that I love chocolate and knowing that I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. And after about half an hour, I thought, yeah, I'm really going to enjoy this. I think it was probably when my lecturer caught me in the corner nibbling and eating, and she said to me, Geri, little pickers have big knickers. So had to really think about, have to stop eating this myself and actually try and turn this into something that I can do. So that was September 2012, and by the 7th of November 2012, I had my home kitchen approved by Environmental Health, and I was starting to sell chocolates that Christmas. That grew as my children grew, to the point where the first place my son crawled to was the cupboard I kept the chocolate in. I found him in a sea of white chocolate buttons, and I decided at that point in 2014 that I was going to have to move out of the house. And we got our first proper premises. I keep saying we, it was just me. But first proper premises, it was in an industrial estate in Coleraine. We were upstairs, we had no natural light, and that was my first step into thinking this could really be a business. So that gave me a sense of, can I actually make money doing this? Because at home you don't see the real costs. 2015, we had some very exciting collaborations, and again, it's very apt to be here in the Everglades today. The Everglades holds a very special place in my heart because it was my first interaction with the Hastings Hotels group. Neil Devlin, who many of you will know was the manager here for a number of years, gave me my first opportunity to do branded chocolates for the Hastings Hotel, and now they're one of our most valued customers. So we started to look at broadening out what we were doing. In 2017, Taste Causeway was born. I was already a member of the Causeway Coast and Glens Food Network at that stage, but Taste Causeway was very much a key element in terms of the growth of my business. I'm going to talk a little bit about that afterwards. 2019, my dream team was born. That's the girls that you saw in the photograph below, before. 2019 was hugely important for us. It got to a point where there was 3 of us working in that small kitchen in the industrial estate in Coleraine, and we were not going to be able to sustain that or stay there. And I was already starting to think about how can I grow this to a business where I can share my experience with people. So in January 2020, I moved into brand new premises for us, but one of the most long established buildings in Castle Rock, so that we could start to run our classes and workshops there. And then we all know what happened in March 2020. And I honestly didn't think that we would ever have anyone through the doors. At that point, it felt like that this dream that I had was never going to happen. But we survived. We managed to open a shop, which was never part of the plan. But that shop saved us. And in 2021, we started to actually run those classes and workshops that we had really wanted to be doing for so long. Unfortunately, in 21, we were still doing bubbles and very small groups. So, but it was actually a great learning experience for us. 2022 was an amazing year. At 10 years into the business, we won the Best Food and Drink award. We became an economies day. We got back really into the whole idea of what we wanted to do with our workshops. And then in 2023, we've really focused on putting Castle Rock on the map. And I'd just like to point out for all those heat maps, Castle Rock is not on the map. So can we get it on there, please? So from a producer to an experience provider, the producer part of my business is the core of what our business is. That is how I have grown from my home kitchen to being able to employ 4 staff plus myself. And so whenever you're developing an experience, you've got to start off with what you know. I could not have been an experience provider back in 2013. I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the credibility that it would have taken to be able to do that. But the key thing for me, whenever you're looking at it, is why would anyone be interested in what it is that you do? I'm very lucky. Chocolate is something that makes most people smile. I have a little extra step in the door before anyone is encouraged to try and do our experience. But when you're thinking about developing your experiences, it is, what is it that you can do? We have lots of amazing chefs. We have lots of amazing food opportunities in Northern Ireland, as Gary has talked about. We have an amazing other chocolate experience in Northern Ireland with Neary Nogs, and they are so different to us. And that's what makes us so special, is what is it that I can bring to this that's going to be unique, so that someone else will be interested in coming and learning. And you would be so surprised. I don't tell every single group that comes into the Chocolate Manor how I started and all that, but that's the one question I get asked most is, how did you get into chocolate? Because it's so unusual, it's so different, so people want to know that. So a little bit about our experiences. I'll let you read that for yourselves, but really what we want to do is capture and engage people. Chocolate is something that makes people smile. For something that most of us, I assume, eat every single day. We don't all know where it comes from, we don't know how it is produced, and we don't really have an idea of how to work with it. So we have developed a range of a suite of experiences really to try and capture all the different elements of what we do. We do children's workshops. Yes, I'm mad. I do those in the summer, at Halloween, at midterm, and I do them for 1 hour only, not more than 1 hour ever. But people think chocolate to children, and that. So we have an experience for that. One of our most popular experiences is our family experience, where adults and children both get to come in and everyone gets to make something. So many experiences out there are kids only and parents have to sit and have a coffee, or the adults can only go. So the family experience is an opportunity to come together, to make memories, and everyone gets hands-on in terms of that. And that has actually worked out really, really well. As I say, it's one of our most popular experiences that we do, especially in the summer. And then we have our suite of adult-only experiences. We have the chocolate box, we have the truffle shuffle, and we have the Taste Causeway chocolate experience. And what we've done with each of those is taken different elements of working with chocolate and created an experience around that. But the whole idea is that people get to come in and it's a fully hands-on immersive experience. We do get a lot of questions about tours. We have literally 4 rooms. It would be a very short tour. So the whole idea is when you come in, you get to get hands-on experiences with it. So this phrase, which leaves an impression on someone, that is what I want every single time that someone comes into the Chocolate Manor. I want them to be left with an impression that they will take away with them, that they will really remember for such a long time. Authenticity is so, so important. As I said earlier, I can only do this now because I have spent time working through what works, what doesn't work. I'm telling my story. I am not trying to be something that I'm not. I'm not trying to be something better than I am. This is who we are. This is what we do. When you come into the Chocolate Manor, even if you don't actually have time for an experience, you will see our chocolatiers working in the kitchen. We have a window into the kitchen, so there is an experience of even just coming into the shop. And we want people to think, this isn't something that I have seen anywhere else. You're not going to see it in Coleraine, you're not going to see it in Armagh, you're not going to see it because this is what we do and how we do it. A quality offering. We could have gone down the Willy Wonka route. Many people, in fact, someone called me Wilhelmina Wonka last week. I was just kind of, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we could have gone down that route, but we would have been excluding what I felt would be a quality offering. We are trying to educate people about the quality of the product that we use. We are very clear in terms of sustainability. We've worked with Tourism NI on actually developing an experience specifically around sustainability. We can't grow cocoa beans in Castle Rock. We have to rely on that. So how can I bring all of that together? So the engaging and hands-on element. But the most important thing for me is that it's a personal experience. Whenever you come to the Chocolate Manor and you spend some time with us, you get all of my attention. You are with me for that time. I am going to take you through. I am going to be with you. I'm going to help you to learn things that you can then take away and do at home. We run those very specific experiences, Truffle Shuffle, Chocolate Box, Taste Causeway, but it's your experience while you are with us. And I hope that everyone who takes time to come and spend their money with us feels like they have got that. So this is a little, it's not little actually, you can take your time and read this, but this is what I was talking about. Every single person that comes in has an opportunity to perhaps design their own chocolate bar. We give them the chance to pick and choose what it is they want. We will prescribe, yes, we're going to work with white chocolate or milk chocolate in this experience. In other more premium experiences like Taste Causeway, they get to say, well, I only want to work with dark chocolate today, and I want to pair that with the Giant Basalt gin or the new Paula McIntyre gin. So it's a personal experience. Every single member of the family, from the kids right up through to the grandparents who are with us, everyone gets to go home with something that they feel they chose and it was something to do with them. I'm running the same experience. I'm still taking the same information into it, but they are going home really feeling like that was dedicated to them. You'll notice on this one actually that she has mentioned a 1-year-old. Yeah, didn't do that again. So making mistakes, that's part of the reason why I put that up there. Learned after doing the 1-year-old that we now do not let anyone younger than 5 in to do an experience, no matter how much people beg. We don't encourage it simply because of how we do it. We talked about 2021 and only really getting into doing our experiences. I have made so many mistakes in running my business. I could list them all for the next half a day, but there are a few things that really stand out to me that I hope might help you as well. With the coming in from COVID, I decided you would only do bubbles. And I found myself one day in summer 2021 with one 12-year-old on a kids experience. So learn to say no. Learn to say, actually, I can't run this for this. And I had to learn how to properly price my product. I was really pleased to see what Gary had put up about pricing and templates and that sort of thing that's coming in as well. But the support that I've had from Tourism NI in relation to how to properly price my product and when to say, actually, if you have less than 4 people for a private experience or less than 6 people for one of our adult experiences, you're going to either have to pay for the full 6 people or we can't run this for you because my time is valuable and I need to make sure that it is worth my while. There is nothing worse than the day I was standing doing a 1.5 hour experience with a 12-year-old on her own, thinking I'm not getting paid enough to do this. Marketing, I'm so glad that Holly from TXGB is here today because I'm really bad at it. I need some help with that. I know that we can improve in terms of that. So trying to make use of the facilities that are out there, that is something that I have made mistakes in, and we need to improve on that. Admin, the admin of our booking system, until we got the support from Tourism NI, that was taking up so much of my time. Everything was coming in and email inquiries, phone calls. I had to send emails out, checking calendars, all of those sorts of things. So making sure that you have the right processes in place, that is just going to make your life so much easier, so you can focus on delivering the very best experience possible. So those are just a few of my mistakes, just a few. The power of collaboration. I laughed when you said that phrase, Gary. It's like he's taken my line. But the power of collaboration, I cannot stress enough. I would not be here. I would not have survived COVID, and I would not have gotten to the place that I am in today without the collaborations that I have had. I am delighted to see so many faces in the room today of people that I have collaborated with and people that have helped me to get to where I am. Taste Causeway has been key in that, and with Taste Causeway we are so focused on our people, our place and our passion. There are opportunities that I would not have had been able to avail of if I hadn't been a member of Taste Causeway. And we're very lucky, obviously, in the city here we have Legendary Food, and we are actually starting to look at collaborating with Legendary Food as well. And the key thing for me about that is, if I don't know something, there'll be someone else within that group that will help me and will be able to take it. In fact, one of the little things that I'd noted down was that on the 7th of November, the Chocolate Manor will celebrate 12 years in business. I won't actually be in Castle Rock that day. I will be at the World Travel Market on the Tourism Ireland stand, thanks to my position within Taste Causeway. That's something that I could not be doing without my place in that organisation. So making sure that you are part of organisations and others that actually will help you to grow is so critical. Another one that I mentioned earlier is the Economies A. We are the first chocolate makers outside of Canada to become an Economies A. And again, those are opportunities to actually market and share your story much wider than you could do on your own. Whenever you're such a small business, for so long I was on my own, and even now, most of my team are dedicated to the production side of the business. They keep that moving so that I can focus on the experiences. But without that support with the Economies A, we wouldn't have had the amazing branding that we got done, and we wouldn't have been able to share the story that we wanted to share. So the power of collaboration is so important, and I know it has been mentioned a number of times today. So I'm just going to finish up by playing you another TNI video. This one is obviously ours from our Taste Causeway experience, and it was an amazing day. We're so lucky to have the support, but it was dead funny because in Castle Rock everyone wondered, had Game of Thrones come back, because there was 33 people turned up to do the video in our little small space. So I'll let you see this. Whenever you arrive in Castle Rock, you're going to be welcomed into one of the most picturesque villages here on the North Coast. I'm Geri Martin, Chief Chocolatier and owner at the Chocolate Manor in Castle Rock. When you join us in the workshop, you're going to explore the range of chocolates, find out a little bit about the history of chocolate. So you'll see the real process of actually taking chocolate from its callet form into something that you're going to find absolutely delicious. So you can choose which of the amazing local artisan products, from the Bushmills whiskey, the Mussenden sea salt, or even the new Basalt gin, that you can blend with our milk white, dark or caramel chocolate. One of the most special and fun parts of it is whenever we get to make are chocolate postcards. So they learn how to temper the chocolate and then they pipe it on, and then whenever the bars are set, there's this moment of reveal when we take the transfer off and their design is on the chocolate bar. And it doesn't matter whether they're 15, 50 or 100, it's always a wow moment. This experience is perfect for making memories with family and friends in the sweetest experience you'll find on the North Coast. Every one of my team can recite that perfectly because we have it running in the shop on a loop. They're like, do we have to hear her talking about that again? So just wanted to finish up in talking about the support that we've had from Tourism NI. We were able to take part in the website development program, which gave us that structure to be able to put our scheduled classes in. So we run scheduled classes, as I say, those summer ones, and then the adult ones, we run them 3 times a month. It means that for a lot of my bookings, that I just go in, I open my emails, and people have booked into the experiences, all the information there, and that has taken a whole lot of the admin out. We've had opportunities to, as I say, get some photography done, but the other, which was really great when you mentioned it earlier about the councils, Causeway Coast and Glens, I did the Tourism Excellence Programme with them, and again, that helped me to look at pricing my product. It helped me to look at who am I marketing. There are definitely people who are not my customer. The people who phone up and whenever I say, yes, it's £30 per person for a family experience, they go, I'm like, that's okay, you're not my customer because I know what I'm delivering. And again, it's one of those lessons in terms of saying no. The opportunities to attend different events, the support in terms of the stuff that I don't know. Some of the members of TNI probably wince when they see my number coming up because they're like, oh no, what's Geri concerned about now? Because I will be on the phone, I will be asking the questions, I will be saying, I don't understand this. The travel trade stuff still scares me because I'm not experienced in it. And the support that we've had, the product reviews, the team coming down to do the experience, to give us that feedback, we have taken all of that on board. And I still have to apologise to Gary because when he came to do the experience, I left his chocolate in the fridge and he left without some of it. He's still cross about it. I know I've got some. So, but all of those different reviews, the feedback, even little small things down to how you're presenting your hot chocolate. I was coming out with my little plastic jug and pouring the milk and actually like, well, could we put that into a nicer jug? And those little things were, for a visitor experience, actually really improved it. So I want to take the opportunity today to say thank you to everyone in Tourism NI for all of the support because we wouldn't be where we are without it. As Jess had said, I feel like a little bit like Oprah, but I do have some chocolate for you all in my bag here. So what we've done, a little bit about sustainability. I know they're plastic bags, but this is chocolate that went wrong. Still tastes absolutely amazing. So I apologise to the vegans and dairy-free in the room. We haven't any because we don't usually go wrong with it. But there's a little bag of chocolate for each of you because I want you to have an experience with us today and enjoy the chocolate. So thank you.